Well, it's a rainy day here in Ohio. I just have Ava's dance recital today, and then I'm off to Ontario. Ollie's team, 6-0 winners in the first game today. So I'm eager to see how they play the rest of the day, and then obviously they're going to play tomorrow. I get to watch him play in Brantford, I think, Brantford. Anyway, I want to go through. I'm going to do the opening with Amy tomorrow on the way to the game. That won't be a problem. So I'm going to save the opening for her, but I do want to run through the 2-year-olds, the racehorses, the 3-year-olds. I'm going to go through the 2-year-olds. I'm going to give you guys a little update on where they're at, what they're doing, what to expect, when to expect it. AC/DC. He will qualify next Saturday. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit with him on Monday. He said he made a break. Now, the track was not good on Saturday. I don't know why it wasn't good Saturday morning, but it wasn't. There was no indication or talks of him being sore or lame. The last time I saw him go, I was really pleased with the way he looked. Now, I still need to see that 28-second speed from him. I haven't seen that yet, but plenty of time to show us, as the first stake race for Colts is July the 26th or something around there. So lots of time for AC/DC to come forward. Otherwise, we'll pivot and figure out what we're doing with him at that point. But for right now, he'll qualify. His first qualifying start June the 22nd, which is the open house for everybody here at the stable. The open house will be on Saturday. It should be a lot of fun. Aunt Sarah, June 22nd, she'll be qualifying. She trained great the other day. I like what I see from Aunt Sarah. Dr. Tessa was in to look at her today. He said she got a clean bill of health moving forward to next Saturday. So a slow mile on Wednesday, and then off to the races literally on Sunday at Northfield Park. Bianco Spiaggia will take a little bit longer. He'll be ready end of July, I think. He'll be ready to go for the Sire Stakes in Ontario. Blue Rare, depending on how you look at it, some unfortunate information. She bled a little bit the other day. Fortunately, we saw it, found it, and we'll be able to treat it before she starts her racing career. And we have a lot of babies every year. Oddly enough, last year we had one baby start his racing career on Lasix, and that was Chicago Hall. And maybe not oddly, he also is too a muscle mass. So Blue Rare starting her career on Lasix on the 26th, which is the Tompkin Gears. And nobody can say that we were too hard on her or something happened. We were very aware of the possibility this could be. When we broke her, she had some mucus in her nose, got over some sickness. We've scoped her maybe 6-7 times already in her life. There was no indication of bleeding, any sort of respiratory issue, no redness, no overall pimples or anything in her throat. But when push came to shove at that qualifying mark, when the second week she trotted 28 seconds on the end of it, there was blood present. So I'm confident in saying with utmost certainty that we did everything we possibly could to make sure that this filly got there error-free in regards to her respiratory system, and then in fact was treated properly heading up to it. What kind of car is that? Oh, there you go. A Rolls Royce. That's probably why I don't see a lot of them. Vanity plates from Montana. Bradford. It's a nice car. So that was Blue Rare. Next we have Capistrano Knights. A little off left hind now. We x-rayed 3 horses today. Every one of them x-rayed negative. They're all clean x-rays, which means something else going on. With Capistrano Knights, there was no indication of any issues. I saw she got cast the other day. I wonder if she didn't get cast a little bit and kind of tweak herself up high. Maybe the hip, maybe all that muscle and ligament and tendons that run over top of her rump. Maybe there's no swelling. There's no, when you palpate it, there's no indications there's any issues. Hey, look at that car. That's a super expensive car. I was wondering why I couldn't recognize what kind of car it was.
What is it?
It's a Rolls Royce.
Why does that look like a box?
It doesn't look like a box. That's a nice car. Anyway, Capistrano Knights should be fine. trying to figure out the best way to articulate it. we have to diagnostically figure out what she's done, which is so difficult. Not lame, but sore a little bit on that left hind. So we'll start trying to figure out, pinpoint an area we can work on. Well, big area, right? We're going to start trying to pinpoint an area we can work on Monday, and continue to move forward with her. I guess, to be fair, her qualifying on Sunday might be in jeopardy, given the fact that she's not 100%. But the good news is, I guess, it's kind of bittersweet, negative under x-rays. Captain Doolittle, I told Tim, I said, if you work him hard for the next 3 weeks, when he makes his first Stallion Series start, he will trot 58 apiece on a fast track on a nice day. That's my prediction for Captain Doolittle, but there needs to be an abundance of work between now and then. Not overwork, not drill him into the ground, just work. Cherry's Girl will be our first starter of 2025. She races on Wednesday at the Meadows. They are calling for rain, but Cherry's Girl's ready to go, and I'm eager to see how she races on Wednesday. Degas will qualify on Tuesday, trained well, ate her lunch yesterday, ate her supper, ate her breakfast. I saw her in the barn today. I peeked over the wall. Feed tub was empty. She was eating hay. She looks good and comfortable. She's going to qualify on Tuesday. Diosa della Danza. Here's the tricky part. We're trying to figure out the schedule. Do we race them once, twice, qualify them once, race them once, leading up to the next generation? We need to make sure they're tight and ready to go. I guess it would be fair to say we probably should lean race and then lean qualifier. So what you'll likely see for the 4 next generation horses, they'll all be entered into qualify. Now, I think Tomboy needs one more qualifier just to get a little more speed into her. We could have raced her Wednesday instead of Cherry's Girl. I just thought Cherry was ready to go, and there wasn't a necessity to race Tomboy Strong this Wednesday. So what you'll probably find is qualifier from Tomboy. The other 3 will all be listed to qualify, but will also be entered into race. Therefore, if they that meaning if they don't get into race, we can just go ahead and qualify all 4 of them again on Tuesday. But Diosa della Danza, Highest Honors, and Uncle Danny will all be entered into race next week at the Meadows. If they don't come out on the sheet and they draw, we'll know by Tuesday morning if they're going to get in. And if they don't get in, we will just go ahead and qualify them. So that's the plan for those horses next week. I don't know which one of that distinction will race Saturday. Obviously, that draw is on Wednesday. So a little trickier in that regard. I'm thinking it's Uncle Danny's class. Should get in, I suppose. Where are we at here? Captain Doolittle, Cherry's Girl, Degas, Diosa. Don't ask again. We'll requalify Tuesday for sure. Dune is racing Tuesday. That's not true then. Our first 2-year-old of 2025 to race will be Dune. She's going to race Tuesday, the 17th, at a fair close to Sarnia, because everybody was tinkering with it. I was thinking about it. James thought about it for a second or two. Jody had texted and said, I might be able to go. If you pay me, I'll go. To which I said, our budget's kind of tight with Dune. But Lauren can absolutely go to drive for her dad. I mean, I'm sure Donnie would love to drive this filly, and I have no problem with Donnie driving her. But I told Lauren, I said, why don't you go drive Dune? I don't know who's going to drive Dune. As of right now, for sure, it'll be Donnie Harmon. Aside from that, Lauren is welcome to if she wants to also. Emerald Tom trained good last week. He will qualify on Saturday, train good again this week. Jason went with him, said he's on the left line and finishing up a little bit, but he was fine when I went with him. Go Strong Hanover made some shoeing adjustments. He will re-qualify on Tuesday at the Meadows. Hanger 1, ooh, don't jump over anybody, Anthony. Had to know. I trained faster than anybody on Saturday. He's ready to go. He will qualify on Sunday. Hanger 1, he will not qualify on Sunday. I mean, there's just no need to have him ready to go just yet. He's not going to be ready for at least 3-4 weeks. He did train 1.5 miles, 225, won the training set, looked good. I was happy with him. We'll go back with him this week twice. He'll go back to 2 weeks now, the way he's supposed to, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So he will train Wednesday again, 1.5 miles, 220, 225. And as he gets stronger and stays sounder and hopefully gets his head screwed on straight, we can then start to get closer to the races with him. He's a Fearless Peter. trained good the other day. He'll be ready to qualify next Sunday. Highest Honors will likely race this week at the Meadows. So have your eyes peeled for Highest Honors entry. In New York, we'll qualify Tuesday at the Meadows too. I'm deferring any judgment or any calendar decision with him until I see this horse qualify Tuesday at the Meadows. Now by see, I'm going with him. So I'll let you know all about in New York. He's kind of in limbo. I don't know that he's good enough or fast enough just yet to race in a Sire Stake race at Oak Grove. He is eligible to fairs down there, so we have that option also. But he will qualify on the 17th at the Meadows. Jailbird Jog is this is a calendar that we're kind of screwing down tight on, trying to figure out where these 10 to 13 starts for our girl are going to be. As of right now, working backwards, we would hope, and again, this may change quite a bit over the year, but Breeders' Crown is in October, right? You have the International Stallion and the Bluegrass, likely to go there. You have the Kentucky Final, whatever distinction we race in. So there's 3 or 4 legs in a final right there. So 4, 6, 7, 8. Now you're at 8 starts. Where are the rest? Somewhere between Oak Grove and Overnights is where the rest are. She'll race 11 or 12 times as a 2-year-old, I would imagine, with the culmination of those starts being in the Breeders' Crown, we hope. I don't want to get too far ahead of our skis, and it feels a little odd talking about Breeders' Crown with a filly that's only ever qualified once. Seems a little bit quick, but we're just trying to formulate a plan for a lot of our horses. And Jailbird Jog being a horse that you look at a horse like we haven't talked about Perfect Thought. You say, well, what about her? Well, she's not that hard. She doesn't have 2 jurisdictions she can race in. She's 1. Where's she going to be? She's going to be in New Jersey until she's in Ontario. That's where she's going to be. And hopefully, again, the culmination of her 2-year-old year will end at the Breeders' Crown. But all this might change throughout the season. Sickness, lameness, maybe they don't get to where we hope and think they'll be. Who knows? But you still have to look. You have to be prepared. So going through the calendars and the discussions with everybody in regards to Jailbird Jog, Joj Fotag qualifying next Sunday, I would imagine. And then depending on how she qualifies, she may or may not be up for sale shortly after that. Jolene Hall trained great on Saturday. Eric was very, very happy with Jolene Hall. Judy's Money. We're going to make a little shoeing change. She touched her knee. Actually cut her knee open. She never hit her knee in her life. But we're getting closer now. So we made a few little shoeing changes to her to help her with that. She'll qualify next Sunday. Leland Hanover will qualify Tuesday at the Meadows. This will be one of at least 2 qualifiers. I'm being careful with him, but he looks great right now. Really, really happy with what I've seen from Tenacious Hanover. Not Tenacious. Well, yes, Tenacious Hanover, but Leland Hanover. Lifting Legend missed his qualifier this week. Everybody's like, where is he? Just relax. They don't race till at least the first or second week in July. So he didn't qualify this week. He'll qualify back next week. We'll go with Lifting Legend. Love Sensation will qualify Tuesday at the Meadows, and we'll see how she qualifies. That will indicate whether she's going to make a start at Oak Grove right away or at all. I forgot what horse. Megan's Lucky Day will qualify next Sunday for sure here at Northfield Park. Millie Girl, if we're going to make that July 5th stake, we got to get her moving. We are and have, I got to text Dr. the Test. I know he pulled blood on Millie Girl. I want to make sure that got pulled. We want to get the AST back on her and see where it sits. If it's high, she can't qualify on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens with Millie Girl in that regard. My name's Wayne. We'll qualify next Sunday, I think, at Northfield. No rush. No rush with her. 22nd, come back the following weekend with a race somewhere is the 28th, and then that's 6 days later, and then another 6 or 7 days to her first start. There's no need to be super hard on her. My name is Sweeney. I'm sure we'll be just fine. Her first qualifier was very, very good at the Meadows. So that was Weenie. Neuromancer is in Ontario. He'll train at Mohawk this week. He's probably not going to be ready for 3 or 4 weeks. Perfection Hanover trained in 2-3 yesterday and trained very, very good. He'll come back Sunday, will be his first qualifier. They don't even race till July 26th, so Sunday and then maybe the Tuesday after that will be 9 days. We'll train him in between. At that point, you're into July, 1 or 2 races, and then into the Stallion Series. That would be my 2 cents, my hopes with respect to Perfection Hanover. Perfect Thought, qualified Tuesday. Will she race once more before... I think she's eligible to kindergarten, which is before the Sire Stakes. Yes, I believe so. I'll double check the calendar, but she's on schedule to qualify again, and then off to New Jersey, or race and then off to New Jersey. Either way is fine with me. Pretty Eyes and Lies will qualify Sunday at Northfield Park. That should be a lot of fun. Rico Tubbs will qualify Sunday at Northfield Park. Also, we'll get him going again. I think they're the second week of July, if I'm not mistaken, is the 2-year-old trotting colts. The Stallion Series for him. Also, I'll double check that calendar when I get off the video with you. Riding the Rodeo will qualify, another one, just qualifying next week. She's not going to the Tompkin Gears. She's going to race in an overnight. We're going to probably race her in her grassroots, and if there's any sort of issue with her airway, which I suspect there will be, redness, irritation, then we'll probably shut her down until the end of the summer and race her throughout the fall into the Sire Stakes, that race at the end of the fall, and then put her away. That will be the plan for our girl riding the rodeo. Her brother was second in 51-1. The race I won with Captain Incredible the other day, that was Riding the Waves. That was her brother that was second to him. Rose Run Bobby trained good in 2.6 yesterday. She will qualify next Sunday. She's going to need at least 2 qualifiers before we start her up. Royal Duchess. I thought we'd x-ray her knees and they would show a little roughness today. Doctor Tess x-rayed her everywhere. There was nothing showing. She does have some soreness right front. So now that leads me to believe maybe there's something with her foot. Maybe her shoeing is bothering her. I just assumed in my head that for sure it was her knees. It's not. So we'll look at her footwear on Monday. We're going to maybe block her out a little bit just to make sure we're on the right track and going with her. But if everything is negative and everything looks good, heading it negative by x-rays, I mean, and blocking and whatnot, and we can get her back to a level of comfort for the weekend, then she may very well qualify on Sunday. Royal Flush Dio likely will qualify. I had him slated to race, but I swapped him out for Uncle Danny on Sunday. Or on Tuesday, well, which would be next week at some point. So Royal Flush Deal, you'll see him requalify Tuesday at the Meadows. Simply Chaotic will race his next start in the Tompkin Gears on the 26th. That will be his first start. Now, will we race him before then? Possibly. Not a guarantee, but possibly. Solidarity will qualify this coming week in Ontario. His first stake race isn't until, I'm not even looking at Pennsylvania, I'm looking at the Red Mile. So end of July, there's no rush with him or with Steady Volo, who we're about to talk to next. They're right beside each other. Solidarity and Steady Volo both are slated in my book to start in Lexington, and they'll race in Ontario before then. Steph's Hope will be ready to go next Sunday at Northfield Park. Sweet Lake, I had her into race, and I said, probably race Diosa della Danza first. Sweet Lake can qualify again. Another qualifier certainly isn't going to hurt Sweet Lake. So we'll see how Sweet Lake qualifies this week, and then we'll go from there with her also. Her first stake race, July the 5th. Now, that may ring a bell, because both her and Diosa della Danza will race on July the 5th. One in a stake or a Stallion Series, and the other one in the Next Generation. I'd love nothing more than to split the class and have 2 filly pacing divisions. That would be perfectly fine by me. That would mean they both race this week. Sterling Hanover, dynamic scope on Wednesday to see what that noise is that we're hearing. I'm sure it's something we can treat and fix. He likely won't be ready to go until later in the summer, which is fine. The whole point of Sterling Hanover is to have... What's that?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Hanger One. Never mind.
He's also slated for Lexington anyway. Will you get the mail out of the mailbox, please? So Sterling Hanover will be later on. Supermind has been training great. Very, very good. And only upstaged by Uncle Danny. This horse looks really good And if I was to guess, historically speaking, this will be a Sire State Colt, I believe. I jumped over. No, Sweet Lake. I got Sweet Lake. She's into qualify and into race. We'll see which one. I would love to race them both next week in a Sire State Arena overnight 2-year-old maiden. By both, I mean Diosa de la Danza and Sweet Lake. Tomboy Strong will qualify again on Tuesday. That 2-year-old trot division has already filled, and the other, thank you, honey. The other filly, there's a lot of mail here. Okay. The other filly, Cherry's Girl, is in to go now. We'll qualify. I thought another qualifier for Tomboy would help, and then we'll race her 17th. Oh yeah, she'll race once before the next generation. So it'll be qualifier, 8 or 9 days, race 7 days, race in the next generation. That's the way it looks right now. Very similar situation for Uncle Danny, only he'll potentially race twice, and then the next generation definitely race once starting next week. Woodmere Bullet is going to train up this week, and I think Smitty said baby race next week, if I'm not mistaken. I almost said yesterday, but I would have heard from Smitty. So for sure that'll be next Friday. And Zena Kemp will qualify again on Tuesday, and then we'll be off. 6 days later, she'll be in Oak Grove for her first Sire Stake race. So there, I don't think I missed anybody. Just looking over quick, I don't think I missed everybody. You're up to date with everybody now, where everybody's going, what they're doing, and when they're qualifying and potentially racing. So that's a list of your 2-year-olds. I'll come back with your 3-year-olds, racehorses. The opening, Amy and I will do tomorrow. Take care.